Welcome back to Showbiz India, and with me today I have the very talented Omi Vaidya. Welcome to Showbiz India and UCLA Botanical Gardens. What a beautiful place this
beautiful.
is.
It's very nice.
So tell me, we all want to know, of course, you are very synonymous with serendipity, right? You went to India to direct, and you by chance auditioned for Three Idiots.
I did.
Tell me the story in your own words.
I am a filmmaker and actor here, and I went to India just to vacation. I had a script I was working on, meeting producers. They were saying like, you know, get some big stars in it and then we'll make it. So I was like a little bit disheartened. I was going home. Then my friend who actually works with Abhijit Joshi, she's a writer, she said, audition for this film, it would be a nice experience for you. And you never know, you know, it might work. So I went in there thinking that I wouldn't get it, and I auditioned, and they really liked. Not that I didn't speak Hindi. I mean, I speak Marathi at home, so I knew what I was saying, but I didn't speak the language very well. And they liked that I was an actor, I guess. And it was timing. It was a little bit of luck, definitely a lot of luck, and maybe some talent, hopefully.
Let me transport you to that moment of the audition.
Yeah.
What did you feel?
I felt good because I really didn't think I would get it. I was just going in there just to have fun. It was a nice experience because I was like, when do you get to audition in India? It's not something, I don't dance very well. I don't watch many Bollywood movies. So I didn't think that there would be any chance of me getting a role. But you just have to go out there and do all sorts of opportunities in the world, and then somehow, as you said, serendipity, something finds you and you get your chance.
So tell me now, you got the movie and you were directed by the very talented Rajkumar Hirani.
Yes.
So did you learn Hindi in the process then?
He told me specifically not to speak Hindi and not to learn it because I was getting a little bit better at it. And he said, no, I don't want you to get better at it. You're a South Indian and you have to get fat also, and you have to stop watching Bollywood movies, or if you've been watching them, no teaching, no nothing. We want you just the way you are. So when I went there, I had the script, I understood what I was saying, but I didn't know how to say it, you know? So I had to learn everything with repetition and knowing that it's as if I was speaking Chinese, but I knew that this part I was saying this, so I have to put that emotion into something that doesn't come out naturally. It was a very difficult way to learn Hindi, but I learned through that process and afterwards, and now I'm pretty good at it.
So Omi, would you consider yourself a director's actor or more improv?
I would say that a lot of the work that I have done so far in Bollywood is very improv based, but there is a lot that the director has to give. He has to bring a lot of confidence to me, and he has to say at least that I'm doing a good job. But a lot of it is improv. A lot of it is just instinct, and because I guess I'm a little different than many Bollywood actors, so I have to give my USP or whatever it is. And people like that, and people enjoy that. So I try to be as I'm trying to be spontaneous because that is a lot of what comedy is about.
Right.
It's about being spontaneous. It's about thinking what the audience isn't thinking at that minute. And
timing.
I don't even know how to explain timing. It's just having a sense of a sort of comedic air. And working with that and breathing it in and out with the other person.
So we were talking a little bit earlier on, and for those who don't know, Omi was born and brought up in USA, and then you came to LA to attend a special school in acting.
Yes.
So that means you got your calling early in your life.
I did. You know, I was not very good at other things. I was good at biology, I was good at maths, not good at verbal, but I didn't really put the effort. And you know, I think a lot of Indian parents, as I was saying to you before, actually, a lot of Indian parents think, you know, he doesn't care about this, or all he wants to do is just fool around and have fun, which is kind of who I was. But I really enjoyed entertaining people, making people laugh. I enjoyed dancing, even though I don't really dance anymore. I enjoyed performance. and performing. So it was kind of nice because I grew up in Palm Springs, as you were saying, as one of the only Indians. I grew up in Joshua Tree, actually, which is a little bit farther out. The one of the only Indians in the town. So I wasn't very important, and I was sort of marginalized at times, you know, even some prejudice at times. Not being able, I guess, being able to perform and being sort of larger than life was a way of me sort of coping with that.
Well, I think that's a great message to everyone out there because you have a great sense of self.
You have to. I think everybody should have a good sense of self. I don't think it has to be a performer or anything. If you have to take pride in what you do, and the more that you realize who you are, the better you'll be in life.
So let's talk about Three Idiots.
Let's talk about it.
A film that I would presume changed your life a little bit?
Yeah, it made sort of a 180. I was acting here. I was in shows like The Office and Arrested Development, and then I went to Bollywood and started speaking Hindi and doing Bollywood films, and almost living in India for 2.5 years. Yeah.
And how do you think that changed your life?
It changed everything. It changed me geographically. I was also just newly married, so my wife is getting her PhD in public health, and she had to stay here, and I went over there, and I had to learn a new language. I had to make new friends. I had to make a new life. It was different. It was very different.
What would you say was your most favorite part in the film Three Idiots?
Favorite part of Three Idiots? So the favorite one was probably the last scene of the film, where they're all meeting up and they all see Amir again, Rancho Das Chanchar, and I come at the end and I tell him that, you know, I know Funsuk Wangru and I'm going to be the most successful, and then all of the tables are turned and such. That whole scene was shot in Pangong Lake, and it is a beautiful lake on the border of China and India, near Ladakh, about 6 hours north of Ladakh. It's a very, very high in the hills place, and it was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was the last scene of the movie. It was the last shoot of the film, basically, and it was an amazing experience. Everybody was also friends by then, and there was a camaraderie that was great.
Now, you also did other films in Bollywood, Jodi Breakers recently.
Jodi Breakers, Players, Dil To Bachcha Hai Ji, and a little part in Desi Boys.
So, how do you choose your characters?
Gosh, I don't know. I think they just choose me, to tell you the truth. You know, I try to do something that's interesting and funny. There's, for comedic actors, I guess, that I have been labeled as, there's a lot of very, very ridiculous roles. So I try to pick the more humanistic ones and interesting. I try to stay away from the really over-the-top stuff because, you know, honestly, I don't think I could do it. I have a little more subtle sort of comedy and style, and I would love to do some more dramatic stuff, but I think I'm gonna have to wait a little while to get that.
From a director's perspective, how would you define Amir Khan as an actor?
He's a very intense, hands-on, interactive with the director sort of actor. He really takes his work seriously, and he tries to do something different in every film and do something that's really worthy of people's time. So I think he gives a lot of respect to the craft, and you know what? That always shows up.
So when did you watch the film in its entirety?
I watched it about 3 days before it came out with my wife, and both of us were like, I have a small part in the film. It's probably not, you know, hopefully I can get one more film, something out of it. But the response was just insane, and I also realized just how critical my role was in the film. I always thought it was critical for me as an actor, just like any of my roles, but that role was very, very important to the film and the film succeeding also. So I think it was really nice to get some of that.
So when did you realize for the first time that you were famous?
Gosh, the first time I was famous. I keep thinking I'm not famous, but it just keeps happening. The first time was probably a day after the film came out. Actually, it wasn't really. It was in the interval of the premiere when I went to go to the bathroom, and I couldn't get to the bathroom because there were so many people stopping me and saying, "Who are you? And where did you come from?" And this is really nice what you're doing in this film. The film wasn't even over yet, and I was already getting, recognized, and people were getting excited. So I knew that something was up then. And then when the film was over, it was crazy. People were just so excited. I met so many stars, I guess as you call them. Shabana Azmi was like, "You're really good," and I was like, "Really? I don't think so." They were like, "Yeah, you're really good." So it was nice. It was different.
Now let's talk about the switch over. You were already doing big shows like Arrested Development and also The Office. These are big shows.
Yes.
How did you find the work ethic different?
It's very different. Here it's like clockwork. There's rules here for everything from hours and overtime. So people are extremely efficient. Also there's more money and it's very organized. But which is the opposite of India, which is last minute at times, disorganized at times. But let me say, it is because it is so clockwork here. It can be a very unemotional. It feels like work. It really feels like you're going to an office at times, and you don't really talk to people. There's no socializing very much, and it can be a little bit dull compared to India, where, as I said, it's just a whirlwind when you're on a film. You're going to Ladakh and Bangalore, and you're with other, well-known actors, famous actors, and you're sort of. It's a very different experience.
So let's talk about what's coming our way from you.
Gosh, so much, but slowly. I am directing a film. That is sort of my next project. It is a sort of psychological thriller, and it takes place in a sort of second-tier Indian town, sort of smaller town, and it's sort of a ghost story. And I'm going to start shooting that hopefully by the end of the year.
Okay, so it's a Bollywood film.
It is a Bollywood film. It has romance, it has songs, it has everything that Indian people love.
Is there a star cast that's finalized?
No, there is no star cast. It is going to be a smaller film, so we'll use some good actors, some known actors, but none of the big ones, unfortunately. It's not a sort of masala sort of film that you need a big sort of actor in. And I think I'll be able to do something nice when everything's in my control.
Well, we wish you all the success for that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's going to be really nice for me. And other than that, just looking for the next interesting acting role. I'm doing some TV in India next month, and then I'm looking at some nice scripts, but I have to finalize something.